the side gets longer, you see, you're already in a position to get long. If you're twisted, one side is shorter in terms of the twisting, and then you have a more difficult time in terms of what you have to do in this area, okay? Okay? So the idea here is when you're in this position, and why I chose this to just show it now, and then we'll do it on the back, is it makes it because when you're in, this is sort of a no man's land position. You're not on the back, you're not on the side, you're unstable, okay? So when you're unstable, it creates more movability, okay? That's like this is what you're talking about in the CP. So what happens is, in terms of the shoulder blade, it should allow the side to do what? To be able to find its way, to do what? To get longer. In which way? You have to find it. So, see, if I take it and I get longer this way, it pulls it back. That's what many of you were doing. Lengthening, and then it rolls you. Right? Correct? If you try to find a way, that is, if she'd be going this way, this side would continue to get long. Look, you have a very different direction. And then you want to see, can you find that direction and still make it easy with the shoulder blade, which will have to come this way, and then, oh, look, you see? It actually goes back a little bit. That's what all of you were doing, was starting to open. And then it can get longer. Can you see? It still gets longer from the shoulder blade. So it's a very clear distinction, opposed to when the shoulder blade, in terms of the lengthening, which we'll do in a moment on the back, comes this way, the lower part of the scapula, and forward. And you come into this direction, reaching upwards. Right? Can you see? That's a very different motion. Yes? Is that clear? If you take the arm and you go upwards, and this is where the scapula comes this direction, and it just pulls it this way. Okay? This is different. You're going backwards. This gets long. And then you have to find out how, when it turns a little bit backwards, and then it still gets long, and then you can feel it, but it doesn't, you see, it doesn't pull her back onto the side. It keeps her this way, but look how it still continues this length in terms of the C curve. It actually makes it easier, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right?
I don't know what to do with the leg.
You don't worry about the leg, it doesn't go anywhere, it just can hang out there as long as it's not really uncomfortable. Some people, you'll have to, if you go here, you have to hold on to it, or you put something in between, and then look. And then you see, she stays in this position. We did this in another ATM in terms of reaching out, but if she would go further, that's the opposite side of what you'd get, you see? And you can see how it gets a very much of a turn in side bending. So you turn in side bending, it's not the real rotation that you would say, or a counter rotation, and it's not just a side bent on the side, right? It's a very different, because you have the curvature like a C, and in a side bent position. Is that clear? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right. So, come on your other side. I'll show the same thing, and then you go on the back, and then you go and do this. Then we're going to go on to the heel. Okay? Do stuff with the heel and the foot. Because it will make sense if we can get the length on the side, the sense of through to pushing. Because that's what you need a lot for working through that. Okay? Now, you can understand if I would, the differences. If I would be side bending here, in this way, lengthening on the side bending, this is on the side. It's a very different, there's no turning here. Even though in any side bending there's turning. Okay? Now, if she takes the shoulder backwards, look, this is going to get shorter, and then I have a twisting in the spine. Very different. Okay? If we take both together, and I go backwards here, you see? Zoom. Then the whole side has to get long. That's it. And then when the arm comes, depending on what the head does, some people it's too extreme, you have to get even less here. That's it. Okay? Now, remember, depending, and it's very useful for yourselves to feel relation to the elbow, because if you take the arm and you go this way, or you hold it this way, there's a whole question, where do I hold with which hand? I could do it here like this, but look, my tendency would be, I'm going to pull her back here. But if I take it this way, you see, look, the tendency would be to be able to come more backwards. Look at the scapula over here. Actually goes back. And then she can get longer here. That's it. Now she can get longer. See? That's it. And then I can go and I can actually pull this way. You see? And then look, I can take it forwards, towards me, and back. And once again, related to what we did yesterday, I don't straighten the arm because I'm not interested in getting the whole function towards reaching. At the beginning, you always want to get the proximal area clearer. See, if I want to, I can now turn it into this direction more, and then I could turn it because it goes backwards, and then still come. That's it. Okay?